this episode is one of those cases where the anime took the content from the manga and took it to a whole new level. It absolutely decimated what the manga did in the best way possible, with just making this content just stand out so much more than it did in the manga. When I read the stuff in the manga, I was like, it's alright. Okay, some of it felt slow, some of it felt a little bit like stale, but the anime took this content and just did an amazing job. This is one of the best cases in Naruto where it took the content and made it way more interesting and overall better of an experience. Now, to start off, let's talk about the animation and art. For the most part, the art and animation look pretty good, but in the scene when they were fighting and they were clashing with Susanoo and Hashirama's, trees and whatnot, it just looked beautiful, and oh my gosh, that just looked incredible when they were just going at it, and Madara and Hashirama, you get back and forth, he grabs him and he swings him. I was just like, the art and animation alone was to die for. It just looked like a sight to behold, so to speak, at just, the art and animation alone. It just looked really good. They really came with their A game for this, and they did a great job with just, that alone already was awesome. But then they did something that I always feel should be done, and that's when you're trying to, keep the pacing between the anime and the manga. If you're gonna add like filler bits and canon filler bits, why not extend some fight scenes and make some fight scenes look better? And they did just that. They made the fight scenes, definitely they added a lot of things that didn't happen in the manga, but it extended it in a positive way. It made the fight look way more epic, and just overall it added to the fight instead of like, oh well, we gotta see somebody talking about it or something like that. No, they actually made the fight look way better. So you have the art and animation looking on point as hell, you got that, but then you also have them extending the fight scenes, making them look even better. And just seeing from where they started off, because the story starts off, this episode in particular, with them being young and them having to deal with their parents' bullshit yet again, trying to pit one another against each other and saying, we're gonna go after them. And you could definitely see that for a long time both of these clans were pretty much even, and it wasn't honestly until Hashirama where there was a gap between the power. And even when they were younger, Hashirama already was stronger than Madara, and Madara had to admit that. And that was interesting to see a prideful person like Madara admit, nah, this kid is stronger than me. So you can see right there that Hashirama was the balance tipper in between all of it, because prior to him it was okay, their fathers are pretty much even, and Izuna and Tobirama for the most part seemed even. They weren't, one wasn't stronger than the other, although Tobirama, with his maniacal ways of wanting to fuck people over, he probably could have took out Izuna prior to even the time that he did, and he ultimately does take out Izuna. So that goes to show that Tobirama and Izuna, while they seemingly were even when they were little, when they got a little bit older, he was like, yo, fuck this shit, I ain't even with no one. So that was pretty interesting to see. And ultimately, it just shows that if it wasn't for Hashirama, if it wasn't for his power, his innate abilities, and just overall being a strong person, a strong character, they might have still been at war even today. They might have still been clashing, both clans, because it was really him that put a halt to it, his power, that finally tipped the scales to say, yo, I'm stronger, but I really want to live in peace. And if Hashirama wasn't the person he was, let's just say the roles were reversed and Hashirama had the power of Madara and Madara had the power of Hashirama, it would have been totally different. Or if, Hashirama was a different person, if he was more of a evil person, he could have just said, yo, I'm gonna fucking wipe all you motherfuckers out. I don't give a shit. So the fact that he was a good person and he had the power to tip the scales in the favor of, his clan and just overall put a stop to everything, that just was what it took. That's what it took to bring peace to the world. So Hashirama, while, people say, yeah, he's legendary, he really did do the good things that needed to be done in order to bring peace. If it wasn't for him being a good person, he would have, maybe thrown the fucking whole Shinobi world into a dark place. And you could definitely see, if you watch the past couple episodes and this one as well, the slow progression of Madara through different stages in his life. It's like it started off skipping stones, and then you slowly see as he loses Izuna, that was one big impactful thing. And it's very interesting that they never really went diving into, because again, this is narrated by Hashirama. This is from Hashirama's point of view of how everything went. But I would have liked a little bit more if it would have been told, I don't know, in a different way, in a sense of, I would have liked a little bit more of seeing how Izuna went through, his death, and kind of giving him the eyes finally what happened during all that time, because we kind of got a little bit of in a sense, narration of their side when, you know, Toby was saying, you know, what happened to Sasuke and whatnot. But ultimately, Toby didn't have all the facts right, and he made it seem as though, you know, Madara was kind of like a dick in a way. But we see it here now, and it's kind of like, okay, Madara ultimately loved his brother. He really did, and that's what made him go even crazier and say, yo, fuck all you people, I'm gonna kill. And it just showed Madara wasn't that bad either. It's like, nobody is really bad in this scenario. The only one that is slightly antagonistic is the fact that Madara took so long to go and say, you know what? Alright, I'm gonna listen to you. Let's fight for our dream. Let's stop fighting amongst each other and let's work towards our dream. So that was only antagonistic thing, because other than that, they really aren't bad either way. The Uchiha just want to live, and the Senju just want to live. It just happened to be that they were in this fucking stupid cycle of fighting each other. So you can't even argue that, oh yeah, this person's bad, that person's bad. Because if that's the case, you could also argue Tobirama's kind of antagonistic, because he didn't give a fuck about killing Izuna in cold blood. But again, you know, this is war at the same time. So I don't feel that anybody at this particular point was an antagonist, because they were both fighting, and they were both fighting at the end of the day for a positive cause, for the clan to live in peace. And the ending of this episode really got me. I felt like it was just incredible the way the anime did it. The manga did it alright, the anime did it way better, when he's like, yo, kill yourself or kill your brother, then I will listen to you, then I will trust you people. And when Hashirama was about to do it, first of all, props to Hashirama. He is a very humble person, because I would be like, yo, I'm the shit with some of the stuff he did in the past. Is like, he was about to kill himself to bring peace and for his friend to finally see the light. And that was just an incredible moment, very strong, to finally make Madara realize, yo, why am I doing this? This guy's a good guy. Fuck this shit. I'm not going to do this anymore. But you can see that the thing is that while those two are the ones that finally reach the peaceful resolution, is the same thing going to be said for the rest of their clans? Like, is everyone in the Uchiha and everyone in the Senju going to be completely fine with this? I mean, at the end of the day, Tobirama, with everything that he's been through and the way he acts, like, you can definitely see that Tobirama, a lot of his personality spawns from his father to a certain degree. The stern, no, we got to do this like this. Who cares? We can't have no feelings. He is more so like his father, but he doesn't look like his father, and I found that very interesting. Maybe he looks more like his mother, and Hashirama looks just like his father, but maybe he acts like his mother, something like that, more peaceful, more looking towards a better resolution. It's a very interesting contrast with how they look, but how they act. And just that final scene in general, very powerful, and we got to see how the village started, how Konoha actually started, so getting a great little history there, and the fight was amazing, and the art and animation was awesome. It was a great episode. This was a fucking great episode. It wasn't progressing on the main timeline, so yeah, you can argue like, okay, the main timeline hasn't really progressed much or anything like that, because it's just standing there hearing a history lesson, but it was still a great episode overall. I felt like this was a 9 out of 10. Obviously, they did, you know, pad a little thing here or there, but it was good padding. It was great padding to make things more interesting and exciting and building things up, and that ending just like, oh man, it gave me shivers. Just great fucking stuff. The anime of Naruto this week just really took it home. 9 out of 10 for this bad boy. I loved it. Great fucking episode. Let me know what you think, first of all. The characterization of Madara at this particular point. How do you feel about him knowing what he ultimately becomes? You know, just kind of killing everyone and going fucking crazy. Do you feel that he's justified in any which way? I mean, he did lose a lot of people, and ultimately you can see that to a certain degree, he's just looking for peace. Even probably now, that's really all that he's looking for. Maybe the Moon Eye plan is his solution to this vow that he made with Hashirama all these years ago. Maybe this is what he was looking for, and at this particular point, so many fucked up things happened that he said, well, this is the best thing I could come up with. And just overall thoughts of this episode, again, I felt this was a great one, 9 out of 10. Really loved it, really enjoyed it. Couple things here or there, but for the most part, it was like, great shit. But that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, you can do so as well. That'd be awesome. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.